Hello everybody and welcome back to the MSV Duisburg Save 50+1 community save, and it's the start of a new season. Let's dive in. Hello everybody, welcome back to the save, and in this episode we're going to be taking on Borussia Dortmund, but we've got a hell of a lot to catch up on because, well, last season sort of petered out. But let's go and look at that first, shall we? You can see we're currently 8th in this table, one win from win, which is absolutely lovely. But in the competitions then, we have got through to the second round of the Pokal, beating Dynamo Dresden in the first round, which was lovely. We are currently 8th in the Bundesliga. And if we go and have a look at last season, if we go stages and then last season, we finished 11th, which was, you know, nice. I think a bit disappointing given the start we had. Oh yeah, we can't see the positions from last year, but a bit disappointing given the start that we had. We were up sort of in the sort of European places. We dropped off a little bit and we finished on 46 points from 34 games. So not too bad. Another year of safety, and it has boosted the finances. But it didn't boost the finances as much as selling people to Saudi Arabia. Let's go and have a look. So first up on the outs, a loan transfer. Achim Kister has gone on loan to SV Verden Wiesbaden, and he was signed on a free transfer from Bayer Leverkusen, started to break his way into our team, but this year probably isn't going to get much game time, so we've sent him out on loan for a bit of development. Next up, Marcel Kalamba has gone and joined Torrenzi for £20,000. A really good bargain buy, I feel, we had for 80k, and he did do reasonably well, but again, the players we've bought in just means he's not going to get much game time. So we basically took what we could get. He was coming to in his last year of his contract, so we've moved him on to the Portuguese second division, where he really should do very well, but yeah, I think if we had kept him going, he would progress a little bit more. But for now, we're just going to cash in. He's a perfectionist, so it's sad to see him go, but hopefully he does well. Then we get into the slightly bigger name players that we bought in, and we've just moved on basically after a couple of seasons. Hans Delcroix, the centre-back, he has moved to Hull City in the Championship, I'm pretty sure. Yes, they are. They're in the Championship. 775k. We got him on a free transfer from Burnley. 2 pretty decent seasons out of him, but it was the right time to move him on. He was nothing spectacular, so I was happy to get a decent wedge of money, good profit. So Hans Delcroix moves to England. Next up, another free transfer that's gone on for profit is Thomas Bielen. He has gone, the centre-back, holding midfielder, central midfielder. Probably would do a decent job in the system we're going to play this year, but never really showed too much. We've got £1 million from him after one season where he played 26 times and got a 6.78. But it's all about that, you know, evolution or revolution, not evolution. No, evolution. We're evolving this team into something, well, very different, as you'll see. But yeah, Thomas Bielen has left. For 1 million rising to 1.2 million, Calvin Brackelman has moved to FC20, going to play at Steve McLaren's old team. Do you remember that when that happened? Very tall centre-back, very good, but wasn't really playing for us at all last year. 13 appearances and a 6.69. Had his heyday the year before that, 33 appearances, 6.83. But yeah, again, signed on a free transfer, sold for £1 million. I think you take that bit of profit. We never really utilised his long flat throw, but hopefully FC20 will. And then you get into the big money. For 15.25 million, rising to 19.75 million, Patrick Sugar Gunnarsson, the wonderful goalkeeper that we bought in, has moved to Shabab Al Halil in the UAE. He is out there, won a hell of a profit, 2.6 million we bought him in for, minimum of 15.75, but could rise to 19.25 million. Started the season very well from them, was superb for us in his first season, dropped off a little bit in his second season, but yeah, very, very happy with his contribution, so he moves on and gives us quite a lot of money. Next up, Liam Delap has moved to Al Wahed FC in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it's good to get money, isn't it? £16 million, 2 appearances, 1 goal for them already. 32 appearances for us last year, 9 goals. It just wasn't enough. Wasn't the clinical goal scorer he wanted, but to get him on a free and sell him for £16 million, I'm very, very happy with that. And we'll say farewell, but, you know, it was okay. And then the biggest sale for £20.5 million to Al Tawahoon in Saudi Arabia is Tommy Doyle. Now, this will probably come as a surprise to a lot of you. He was a decent player, 33 games, 8 goals, 9 assists, 6.91 last year, 31 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, 6.77 the year before that. But we've gone for a slightly different approach where he would have fit the system, but we needed money to re-energise the team, let's say. So that's the outs. There's 8 outs and there's 8 ins, so it's been pretty even. And we've definitely earned more than we've spent, but it does mean we've got a bit of money held back to allow us to improve the squad in January if we need to. So let's go and look at the ins. First up, on a free transfer, youngster Bay and Dai joins us. I'm very excited about him. He joins from Generation Foot out in Africa. Really good physical and mental player. Those technicals are going to grow as well. Very highly recommended by the scouts. A free transfer, already worth 13 million and already scored a goal for us in the cup as well, which is absolutely lovely. Played well in his league debut as well against Augsburg, but very excited about Bay and Dai. He looks very, very good. Next up on the other sort of spectrum of age, we've brought in Gaetano Castrovilli on a free transfer from Juventus. Really good player, crucial to the two sort of central midfielder and attacking midfield roles that we've got. Comes in on a free transfer, full Italian international with 4 Italian caps. Has played 1 game for us in the league, and I think he's going to do a cracking job indeed. Uses outside of the foot, knocks the ball past the opponent, likes the ball played to feet, beats the opponent repeatedly and runs the ball often. Some of those are good, some of them are bad, but generally very consistent, which I like, and has got some very good attributes in there. Should get quite a large number of assists this year, I think. Final free transfer is Alexander Heimer Kjelsen. Now, a lot of you will know about this centre-back. Young, very physical, decent mentals, and pretty good technically for a centre-back as well. Very excited to have him in, especially on a free transfer. Liverpool spent 9.25 million for him, played him once, and then released him on a free. So we picked him up very, very quickly as soon as we could. And at the moment, he's actually playing backup centre-back, but I'm sure it won't be long till he's wormed his way into that first team because he is very good. Okay, so ticking off the policy that got voted in was to sign 2 players from FIFA ranked nations that are under 100, or nations that are ranked higher than the 100 FIFA rankings. So from Indonesia, we bought in August Laala, I think it would be, August Laala, who is actually going to be part of our first team, I think, and he's definitely part of the first team squad this year. He is bought in for £350,000 from Odebo in Sweden. He didn't play brilliantly for them, but our scouts were excited about him. When they found him, I was like, yes, that fits the credentials of what the 50 plus 1 want us to sign, so we'll go and get him in. August Lalal is in. Agus Laala. There we go. It's going to roll off the tongue eventually. But yeah, not too bad. Left winger, central midfielder. Has some decent attributes in there as well. Looks like he's got a lot of room to grow. So very excited. And then possibly the bargain of the window. For £1.3 million, we've bought in Vegada Bererio, who is an all-round central midfielder, defensive midfielder, attacking midfielder. He can do everything pretty well and then do the stuff that he does very well. He's quick, got good balance, good flair, good leadership. He's reasonably tall at 6'13" and 11, 12, 13s all across the board with a little bit of room to grow as well. Very excited by this go, and he's come in and got the number 4 shirt straight away, which could give a hint about where he's going to be playing this season. But yeah, 18 appearances in his last season in Colombia. They picked him up for free, so they'll be happy with £1.3 million profit. But 2 very good back-to-back seasons in the Colombian First Division, and he's going to be settling in nicely to our team, but only 20 years old, so very excited by him. Next up, ticking off the final player for the policy, we have brought in Pakistani Ahmed Asif, I imagine it would be. And again, one I'm very excited about. 19 years old, lots of room to grow. He's homegrown in nation because we've signed him from Wolfsburg. Yes, £1.4 million from Wolfsburg. Brings with him good dribbling, technique, passing, first touch, determination, flair off the ball, work rate, and a really good mentals, to be honest. He is 5'6", but I'm not going to let that bother me for a wing player. But 19 years old, again, going to be flirting with the first team and the first team squad this year. Really excited to see what he can do. He needs to work on his mentals in terms of like the top half, I'd say, in his mentals, but generally a very, very good player, and I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table because I don't think I've ever had a Pakistani player before. So yeah, Ahmed Asif joins the club, and that's the policy done for 2 players signed from nations that are ranked below or higher than the top 100 in FIFA. Excellent. I think I've nailed that and made that make sense. Next up, Argentinian Gianfranco Cornacchini. 5'8", really good physicals. Mentals look good. Technicals look insane for someone who's 18 years old and is worth up to £66 million. Our scouts are absolutely flying finding these players, by the way. Loads of really good attributes as well. Consistent, agility, loads of room to grow, good training, good personality because he's driven. Yeah, absolutely love it. And for £3 million, an absolute bargain. Has played one game against Augsburg and got an 8.4, which led our assistant manager to say, I'd rather have Cornacchini over Phil Foden. And I was like, I don't think we would. I think we'd rather have Phil Foden. But anyway, Cornacchini. I don't know, he made it a nickname. We might just call him Gio Franco or something, because his name's Gianfranco. We'll see. But yeah, looks really good, right? I'm excited about him. Needs to up his work rate, but looks very good. And then finally, I think for the first time ever in Football Manager, I've signed a Scottish wonder kid. I don't think that's ever happened before. We've got a Scottish wonder kid, Dean Ogiliv. Now we're paying him 30.5 grand a week, and he's 18, because Arsenal were interested in him, and I did not want to lose this guy. So when it came in to be like, their first sort of, this is what I would like, he wanted 20 grand a week. I was like, here you go, have an extra 10 or 10.5 grand a week. And I think it's worth it, because we've bought him in for £14.5 million. He's played once, scored one, and got a 9. Had a good season before in Scotland, 32 appearances, 4 goals, 4 assists, 6.79, breaking through. But yeah, I think for that, worth up to £93 million. I mean, this guy's the future of Scottish football. But resolute, creative wonder kid. He is going to be insane. It's going to be really, really good. And I think with that, we've sort of, evolved and revolved, or revolutionised, or evolutionised, however you want to describe it, the team. £55 million received, £20.5 million spent. So I think we've strengthened the team really well, given the younger players we already had at the team last year. I think we're in a really, really good position. So finances wise, we've actually got 63 million in the bank, 39.4 million left to spend if we want to, and we've got over £100,000 in the wage budget as well. So we are set if we ever need to bring in reinforcements. That's not a problem. And the squad itself is young with a little bit of experience in there. Luka Zahovic is still here. We've retrained him as an attacking midfielder to try and utilise more of his passing ability. Sort of like a Trequartista or an Enganche maybe, because he's got minimal physical attributes, but mentally and technical he's actually still pretty good. So he's going to be rotating in attacking midfield. We've got the likes of Edgardo Yepes from last season, who we bought in, looking for him to have another stonking season. 15 goals last year, nearly averaging 1 in 2. And then it's sort of sprinkled with the new signings as well, new and old. So Bayendai, Gomez is still here. Vitek is now our starting keeper, with the young Mexican Eric Lozano called up to be backup, and he'll be getting some game time every so often as well, because he just looks like he's going to be really good. But yeah, so I'm excited. It's a young team with a flavour of sort of elder or more experienced players. Lucas Ambrose, David Kalina, Luka Zahovic, Castrovilli. We've got Vitek in goal, Gomez at the back. So yeah, it's a nice age bracket. It's a really good mix of personalities as well. Really, I don't think we've even got any bad personalities in here. No, they're all balanced or resolute, perfectionist, fairly determined, fairly professional. It's looking really good, actually. So I'm happy with the squad. But it all depends how it does on the pitch, doesn't it? So we've won 2 from 2 so far. We beat Dresden in the cup and we beat Augsburg in the league. So let's go and take on Borussia Dortmund. We are at home. This is how we've been sort of lining up. I'd like to get Valencia a bit higher up the pitch, but he is actually a 4.5 star, according to the assistant manager, wing back, and can do that job really well. He just can't tackle. But I think we're going to stick with this team. Reitz is another one I want to slowly sort of eke out of the team, although we signed him young enough. He's 26, he's got a good personality, he's got good attributes all round as well, but I think this is what we go with. So missing out in this one is Kalina, who's a little bit unhappy as well. Bulat, Zahovic, I think we will bring on. We don't need Wagner on the bench for this one. Zahovic had a little bit of a knock last time. Asif, Fletcher, Snook, Lima is injured. La Ala and Niehoff misses out as well. But it's a strong team. It's a strong bench. Let's get into it and see what we can do against the yellow and black team of Borussia Dortmund. I'm hoping that we can show our courage, our demeanour here. We doesn't seem to work this year for some reason. Our home form is important. Let's go and make that count, and then we'll say dead. Oh, and Miroslav Klose moved to Bayern Munich to become their new assistant manager. So we've hired a new assistant manager. We've actually replaced most of the backroom staff, but there's no one of note or of fame that we can really talk about and pinpoint to say it. I think we've got a guy called Andrew Sprinkles or Sprindles or something is our assistant manager. I actually signed him based on attributes, which is key. Oh yeah, change of system. We're playing Noah's Ark. If you're watching the Youth Academy save, you'll be very familiar with the Noah's Ark system. I wanted to give it a go in Germany and see how it gets on, because we've signed players that really suit this system. And we've got the players that we sold don't suit the system, and the players that we've bought do suit the system, and the players we already have at the club really suit the system. So it sort of made sense to go to the Noah's Ark, because it allows us to get the best out of the players we've got and the new signings we get. So hopefully we'll see what we can do as Borussia Dortmund come forward. Sule out to Reina, who seems to have settled his differences in Borussia Dortmund now, because he was out on loan somewhere else in Germany last year, and we were looking at potentially bringing him in as well. He scored, hasn't he? Of course he has. I was talking about him, so of course he scored. Giovanni Reina gets the goal. I know the highlights are a little bit quick, but I did spend about 15 minutes talking about signings and stuff, so I do want to keep this game relatively speedy. But it's been an even game. We're 1-0 down to a guy I was talking about that we wanted to sign, which is the Sod's Law, and Dyer reads that well. Shot! Ooh, Edgardo Yepes just over the bar. He needs to settle down this year. He's not started the season. Unbelievable, we're 2-0 down. Be offside. Please be offside. I think it's on. It's onside. It's 2-0 Dortmund in a game that they really have not dominated, but our marking there was awful. It's a good touch and finish. We are scouting goalkeepers, because I don't think Vitek is strong enough to be our starting keeper at the moment, but just lacking shots on target. Lacking shots on target at the moment. Our shooting has not been good enough. Do we haul some people off to make our shooting better? I mean, Gueni on the left is not playing very well. Let's bring Romero on the left. It says he can't play there. We're training him to play there, so he should be okay in a few games' time. In fact, centre-backs are having a shocker. So let's go Tello for Kielsen. We'll get Kielsen on there early. Valencia, he's doing all right, a little bit tired. It is only half-time, so we'll be drastic, but not too drastic, as they all have also made a change. We could potentially look to do something with opposition instructions, but I do trust this system as it stands at the moment. Reina to Emre Can. Nemetcha's in. There's the cutback, and I think generally just their class is showing through at the moment. 3-0. I don't think we deserve to be 3-0 down. I feel like that's a tad harsh on us, but we'll keep the changes ringing. You can't win them all, can you? You can't win them all. Let's go for... how do I want to do this? We'll take Valencia. We'll take Valencia off for Jesse Prevot, who is the signing from French Guinea, who came in through the policies of last season. Castrovilli can come off and be replaced by Borreo in there, who's very, very good. So we'll put him in. What's that? That's 4 subs already. Rocco Reitz is tired. Let's just do Reitz for Trilo. I was trying to bring Zahovic on, but I think we'll just strengthen up the middle of the park and see what we can do as Kobel has it into Muniz. I'm confident this system will work with this team and the squad we've got, as Yepes good defensive. Ogiliv is in. It's a good goal. It's 2 from 2 or 2 in 2 for the Scottish wonder kid Ogiliv. If there's any Scotsmen in the chat, let me know how you pronounce that surname. I'm not too familiar with it. It's Ogilivie. Ogilivi? I don't know. But it's 3-1. So we've scored, which is a little bit of a consolation in a game that we've, as I said, not actually played too badly. Just not taking our chances. But maybe we turn it around here. Gomez into Borrero. Borrero's tackled and dies there. Shoots. He's hit the post. Oh, so unlucky. Because that would have been a really good... He's been a really good start to the season, the wing-back signed from Senegal. But again, we're 3-1 down with basically even XG. Prevot puts that in. Barreto round the corner. Reina picks it up into Felix Nemetcha. Reina is there again. Out it goes. Ball in, headed away. And Yellert in, and that's a good header. Tchaikovsky, I'm not too sure how much a better goalkeeper would make a difference in this game. We are still getting used to the system and trying to sort out what's happening. Not all the players played in pre-season. The signings have been done over sort of a span of pre-season. So I think once team bonding settles down and team cohesion and stuff like that, we'll start picking up some results. And the way our pre-season did go, we were picking up good results. So I have faith in the system, and I have belief in the players as well. I don't think we're going to have to see that much of an overhaul in January, even though we're miles away from January yet, but we'll see. Trulio picks over, Yeps into Cornecion, into Romero. There you go, off that left wing with his very strong right foot. Does well, 4-2. It was a good goal. Trulio into Yeps. Don't worry, games in the future won't be this quick, and we'll try and fit 2 in an episode. It's just that I was very wary of the time I used to do all the intros and the transfer and stuff. So it's 4-2. So we're not playing dreadfully. We'll demand a bit. In fact, we're playing well. We're very unlucky to be 2 goals behind, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the difference is the goalkeeper. Let's have a look. Next time we get an end of highlight thing, we'll... Oh, Yepes is in. Oh, nearly. That could have been 4-3, and that would have been... Yeah, their keeper's on a 6.5, I was on a 6.1, so I really don't think goalkeepers are the difference. But look at this. We've actually had... They've only had an XG of 1. We had an XG of 1.6, and there's been 6 goals in this game. But there you go. It's a loss. I would argue we've played better than Dortmund in that. We've had more match momentum. We've had better XG. We had more shots, less on target, but better chances with the XG. So, yeah, I think we've got a good system. Andrew Sparks, that's who we've got as assistant manager. A good system, a good squad, and I do expect us to be... I expect us to be challenging for Europe this year. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I want us to do as Dortmund goes top. The assistant manager slams the team. I do think, again, if anyone's watching the Youth Academy save, we had that, but I'm not so sure when this video is going to come out, so I might not have done that video yet, but there was a bug where it got to the end of the season and basically the board thanked the assistant manager for having a really good season. And I was like, hang on a minute, I'm the manager. All I've done is let him do the team talks like this. But again, it says here that the assistant manager slams the team because I asked him to do the team talk. So who knows? Who knows? But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know this series isn't getting as many views as the Youth Academy one, and it's a little bit different. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm confident that we're going to do something good this season. I think we will. We'll probably fly through it a little bit more and come back for maybe that game against Bayern in the middle of November. I think that might be a good one. We'll do Bayern at home and a Wolfsburg away, or Hoffenheim away and Bayern at home, depending how the season's going. But yeah, excellent. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.